Hi, I'm Frank,
I'm Kim.
and this is our brand new channel, FNK Life, where we're hoping to share with you our adventures traveling around the world. We left our jobs just under 2 years ago in December 2023 and started going around the world as slow travelers. In this new channel, we were hoping to share with you our slow traveling, early retirement tips, and all the adventures and excitement and discoveries we make along the way. But before we do this, we wanted to, introduce ourselves. This is our Hello World video. So let's talk about ourselves. Kim, would you like to start?
Yes, I would. So I'm Kim. I'm 53. I'm originally from South London, but I moved up to Glasgow in Scotland 12 years ago. I had a career in the banking industry before I retired. I worked for 34 years in banking, primarily in the City of London and then in Glasgow. And also towards the end of my career, I also got into property investing, which has helped us in our retirement journey. So over to you, Frank. What would you like to share?
Hi, I'm Frank. I'm 55 years old and I am French. I moved to Glasgow in 1990, so 25 years ago now. Originally, I come from Lyon, a beautiful city in the southeast of France. I have worked in many different jobs since I've lived here. I worked as a teacher, teaching French as a foreign language. I've also worked in wine when I studied about wines and spirits. And later on, I launched a dance class in Scotland and across all of Scotland through Siroc Scotland to partner dancing. And I was a teacher for about 30 years in that business before deciding that maybe I should also try, real work. To be fair, that was at the instigation of Kim. So I tried working in a pharmaceutical company. I was working in the finance department initially, and then worked in the data analyst, data reporting division, which I really thoroughly enjoyed. I worked there for about 5-6 years before we thought,
You've tried this work thing. It's not all it's cracked up to be. Let's not do that.
and frankly, you had worked far too long as it is. You started very young. So it was a good time to launch our journey. Now, why did we do this? The first reason is because, as I said, we were young enough to do so, and we were lucky enough to afford to do so, to just say, we want to go in our 50s and not wait till we're
Too old to
too
go and
old,
explore
too
everything.
slow, or before our jobs hurt us, physically or mentally. So that was quite important to be able to do this. We have a lot of interest and passions that we'd love to share with you, and we look forward to doing this in our videos. Do you want to start? What are our interests? Who are we?
So obviously we both love to travel. I've been fortunate to be able to take a couple of breaks in my career because back when I started work, there wasn't really such a thing as a gap year, but I've had a couple of opportunities to take 6 months off between jobs and to do some traveling around the world, just to know that it's something that I love, and I love exploring the different cultures and just seeing everything. But to be perfectly honest, the thing that I also love the most is to experience different wines and different foods across the world. And it's something that Frank and I both enjoy. We actually met at a wine tasting event, and that's been a common theme in our relationship.
As Kim says, I worked in wine for a while. I even went as far as learning through a WSET diploma, so practiced all the things about wine. And I've always been interested in trying new wines and tasting them properly, remembering what they taste like. And that was cemented when the first year we were together, Kim decided that we should go to South Africa, and we flew to Cape Town, Franschhoek, Stellenbosch. She also took me on safari, but that's a different story for another time. But then we both discovered that we loved good food. We both love good wines. And in the last 10 years, that hasn't changed. And in fact, that has grown, and we still enjoy as much as all this. So that's probably the main focus we have for our travel, is we want to discover new cultures, new food, new wine. And where other people might have a bucket list where they try and say, I want to see the Taj Mahal, I want to see Siem Reap and Angkor Wat, or I want to see the Eiffel Tower. And I do want to see all those things too. While we traveled to, Kim took me to New York for my big birthday, and I really loved this. For the first time, I got to see the Empire State Building, the Statue of Liberty, and those are iconic streets that I knew about and wanted to explore. I'm going into too much detail, but you get the idea. We really like seeing this. It's not, for us, it's not just about landmarks and scenery. It really is about the people, the food and the wine. And maybe that's, if you follow us on our journey on this channel, you'll get to discover this perspective on traveling the world.
And what else would you like to share in terms of things that...
Yeah, what else do we like? I'm a big fan of technology in general, so I would like to share how we report, how we plan. We're using Excel. And to be fair, I discovered Excel quite late when I started that job in finance and data reporting. Because as an Apple person, I was actually anti-Microsoft generally. But now I've discovered how awesome Excel is. So we've used this to plan for our retirement.
We all love a spreadsheet.
We love a spreadsheet, and we love sharing as much as we can. We do use them for budgeting, but also we love finding hacks and points and tricks to be able to enhance the quality and the comfort of our travels without spending more money. In fact, what we found is we spend less money than what we used to spend when we were working at home and traveling. So that has been a revelation. Now we can afford to do way more, way better, and way more comfortable. And we can't wait to share with you all the hacks, which, as much as we learned from YouTube, most of the people we follow on YouTube, and we love you guys, and we won't name any names yet, but we follow a lot of YouTubers who are slow travelers, early retired, and having the best time of their life. And we learn so much from them. One of the frustration we had is that it was all very much a US or Canada focus. So you have access to different credit cards, you have access to different loyalty programs with hotels, with airlines, and what have you. So it would be really useful for us to find a few people or ourselves and learn from our mistakes or our discoveries. There are so many cool tricks that you can use, whether it's with bank accounts, credit cards, and loyalty programs. So we look forward to be able to share this with you.
Yeah, definitely. And also, I don't like to think of you being modest, but Frank is also good at languages, which has been useful to us going through. Although, to be fair, Google Translate is our friend. So if you are traveling, do not ever be afraid of not having the languages, but it's another passion of yours.
No, it is. You're right. I mean, I spend most of my time learning languages now because I have so much more time. And some languages I'll invest more in, but obviously I'm fluent in French since I was born in France. I learned English, so I'm pretty good at it, and I've lived in Scotland for 35 years. But also I've learned Italian, I've learned Russian, I am learning Portuguese just now because we enjoyed going to Portugal and Brazil. I'm learning Spanish too, I'm learning Thai. So all sorts of things, and I love to be able to blend in. Simply sometimes just to be able to quickly read a sign and understand what a shop is without having to open my camera and Google Translate. This is a passion of mine, and I feel the more I can understand people around me and the more I can communicate with them, the better I feel in a place.
And I'm still trying to learn French, mainly with the time that we spend in France with my in-laws and the rest of Frank's family.
Oui, c'est vrai, Kim parle français sans problème.
Oui, je parle un peu de français.
C'est bien.
But yeah, we're trying. But the language thing's fun, so yeah.
And maybe at some point we'll share how we're learning languages and what we do. We'll give shout out to all the apps we use and all the systems we use. Another thing that we're interested in, I think Kim really is leading the way with that one, is live music.
Ah, yes. Yes, no, I do like live music. So wherever we are in a different city, we will look out for either a rock bar or like a local live performance. We've particularly found a lot of those in Asia, which has been fantastic. But yeah, it's just a different evening out that we can have, of feeling that we still get to live our day-to-day life, but still have the odd treat of going out and having a nice evening, just listening to some music, having a beer or a glass of wine. It's something we really enjoy. So yeah, we can also share any of the good bars across the world as well.
And Kim and I have got mostly different musical tastes, which is good because I've learned a lot about...
I've learned about French music.
Yeah, well, exactly. But also, like, in a way, so there's two ways to look at it when we're traveling. We either get the comfort blanket of having familiar music when we go to a rock bar and they do amazing cover versions, and sometimes they are amazing. There's beautiful vocalists and musicians that we meet all over the world. And other times, it feels like we're integrating the culture. Recently in Argentina, we went to a music rock bar where the musicians mostly played Argentinian music, and it was amazing.
Great,
Yes, we just have the best time doing this. So why are we traveling? So we mentioned already that we like to discover new places. We're interested in the food. Another reason why we like to travel is living in Scotland really highlighted that for both of us. is it gets really cold and really wet in the winter, and it's really
And
nice.
the summer.
Yeah, it just gets really cold, really wet, and occasionally warm.
But it is a beautiful country, and Glasgow is a great city. So
Oh, we love
would
it.
never put you off Scotland. It's a beautiful place to visit.
Yes. So we actually, this is interesting. We decided what we wanted to do was the pros refer to as geo-arbitrage. And that geo-arbitrage for us simply means that we want to capitalize on the best season, the best time to be in any country. So if Scotland is too cold and too wet and too dark, which it is in the winter, then we can go across the world and go to South Africa or Latin America, go to Asia. But then again, if Asia is too hot and too warm and too humid, and especially in March to August, then we just fly back and we have the best of Scotland. We have the best of the Northern Hemisphere. And that has allowed us to avoid the crowds, because we don't want to be in Europe in the summer when everybody is either not working or is filled with tourists everywhere and expensive.
Yeah, off season's always
Off season is fantastic, or as our American friends would call it, the shoulder season. That allows us to have better prices and better climate for us. And the longer we've traveled, the more we've decided that at the moment there isn't one place that would be perfect all year round. So we're happy to slow travel and switch, hemisphere, switch country and climate regularly.
So actually, we're really benefiting from the geo-arbitrage of visiting countries that are a bit cheaper for us. And we're more than happy on this channel to share what our budgets have been, so you get an idea of the accommodation costs and food and wine costs for different places that we've visited. So even if you're not planning to travel full time, it's still interesting to know if you can spend a few weeks, or ideally if you were managing to spend a month in a place, that it can really be worth your while.
So here we are. This is our brand new channel. It's called FNK Life. And we're really hoping that you'll stay with us and you'll follow us. Now, we are aware that this is the first video. We're not great.
We will get better. We will try anyway.
We will get better, simply because we can't get much worse at the moment. Just filming this is our 17th take. And it might not be the last. So we will get better, but we would love to have you subscribing, joining us, and help us along the way. Please give us some tips, comment, just reach out or put a like if you thought we did okay for a first video. Be nice. We'll take notes, and we want to keep improving. That doesn't just mean better videos, but we know we have a lot to share, and we spoke to a few YouTubers recently who said you have to start. So here we are, and we're doing it. It's been 2 years, but now we feel we can dedicate the time, the commitment, because we don't want to start and give up. We want to keep going. So please join us.
Stick with us.
Stick with us. And well, here we go. Until next time.
Okay, thanks so much. Bye.
Bye.